Crime, Wine, and Chaos contains adult language and graphic content. Listener discretion is advised.
We're all the size of boogers, Chaos Kids. I'm Amber.
Ew. I'm Naomi. This is Crime, Wine, and Chaos.
That is. We said that at virtual wine night. We made a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids reference.
I remember vaguely making a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids reference, but it's funny that that's the line you always go to because you.
I'm like a 12-year-old boy. Yeah, boogers are funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, sister.
Hi, sister.
What's going on with you?
Nothing. We did virtual wine night in real life. It will have been several weeks. But it was only just a handful of days ago for us.
Right.
And it was fun.
It was real fun.
Mm-hmm.
We had a real good time.
A good time was had by all. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it? That's all you got for us?
It's hot as fuck.
It is. I allegedly.
You haven't been outside?
No, not today.
I just walked home from work. So I got all sweaty.
Look, right. You're doing the whole walking thing. I got sunburned. I've had my first sunburn of the season. Hopefully my last.
Oh.
And so I have been avoiding going back outside since then.
Was it while
because
you were
I'm not fully
topless summering in your Jeep?
It wasn't the topless summering. It was actually because I spent a few hours with our other sister and our niece, and we were wandering around outside enjoying basically like a farmer's market type situation. I was fully sunscreened, but I did not reapply soon enough. And also topless summer 2025, drive home in the Jeep. So by the time I got home, I had burned myself. Not horribly, but just enough that it's noticeable.
And you're not going to do that again.
I'm not going to do that again, but also being out in the sun while the burn is still healing is unpleasant. Yeah. So I've been avoiding direct sunlight.
Well, it's super hot. My freckles are flaring up.
Flaring.
Yeah, I've got a freckle flare up. As you know, that happens to me in the summer. And yeah.
Amber is very freckly. She gets that from one of our parents, or by one of our biological parents. It's very freckly, and Amber got that gene, and she's covered in freckles.
I'm covered in freckles.
It's awesome as far as I'm concerned. I have freckles too, just not at the same level that Amber does.
I have them next level. So, Well, what about you? Anything else? You got sunburn?
No, that's it. That's all I have to report is a sunburn. That's the highlight of the last, however many days for me. So,
well, you have a crime though.
Oh, you know what? Oh. Hey, you know what I do want to do though? Because you read a review that we got on Apple the other day. The other day, you read it recently, and because 2 came in on the same day, you actually missed another review that was left.
I did. My apologies.
You did, and it was called it. Hold on, for some reason it won't let me click on it and see the whole title, but I think it's titled Interesting and Thought-Provoking. And it's from Kit Kat Patty Whack Give a Dog a Bone.
Perfect. Will do.
Who says, these ladies have struck a beautiful balance of maintaining the humanity of those affected by the stories they share and offering feelings of hope with their resources, their sisterhood, and their humor. Thank you. Isn't that sweet?
That's so sweet.
I love it so much.
Too. Thanks, Kit Kat.
Thank you, Kit Kat. That's amazing.
Yes.
That made my day.
Me too.
So
glad that wasn't missed forever. Good catch.
Right? So, yes, I have a crime for you. I'm kind of on a...
Is it another family annihilation?
Kind of. Okay, great. I'm going to tell you about Lauren Dickason.
Okay.
Lauren Dickason was born and raised in Pretoria, South Africa, in what looks like an affluent suburb of the capital city.
Okay.
She attended private boarding school and then went on to study medicine at the University of Cape Town, completing her doctorate degree in 2004.
Wow.
She then completed her rural health practice in Pretoria, where she met her husband, Graham, who was an orthopedic surgeon, in 2005. The two were married in 2006. Lauren and Graham wanted to start a family, but Lauren had multiple fertility struggles. She would go through 17 rounds of IVF.
Oh my God, that's so hard on the body, that poor woman.
Including donor eggs.
Jeez.
Before she became pregnant with the couple's first child. Little baby Sarah was born in 2013 at only 8 weeks, and she died very soon after birth.
Oh, no.
After this, Lauren made the decision not to return to her practice and instead became a part-time surgeon assistant to Graham.
Okay.
Lauren and Graham would eventually go on to have 3 more children. I believe the firstborn is Leone. I think it's Leone because it's got the little above the E on the end. She was born in September of 2014, and their twins, Carla and Maya, were born in November of 2018. Very soon after the twins were born, Lauren and Graham hired a nanny named Maria Sibagnoni, who worked for them from November of that year until May of 2020. Sometime in... I wrote 2045.
So, whoa. They hopped into the DeLorean, and let me tell you what happened.
Sometime in 2015, after Leone was born, a few years before the twins came along, Lauren started to have pretty serious mental health problems that was linked to postpartum depression, caused in large part by the loss of Sarah.
Yeah, I wonder too how much... I would be curious to see if women who do IVF, because you're just pumping your body full of hormones, right?
All kinds of shit. I don't even know.
Yeah. God.
Lauren reported having flashbacks of that loss, sleep difficulties, excessive crying, suicidal ideation, panic attacks, restlessness, detached feelings, and intrusive thoughts. It seems she was being treated for that, but there was an increase in her anxiety and depression leading up to and following the birth of the twins. Carla had been born with a cleft palate, which also impacted these symptoms in Lauren. In 2019, Lauren and Graham decide that they're leaving South Africa and moving to New Zealand. They're going to leave one colonized country and go to another.
Sure. Also, this sounds more like postpartum psychosis.
They're calling it postpartum depression.
Okay.
So their plan was to move in August of 2020. But of course, COVID derailed many of the best laid plans we all had, and they also ran into immigration issues. During the early years of during the early parts of the pandemic, late 2020 through June 2021, Lauren had a couple of depressive episodes and more suicidal ideation. But overall, her mental health was improved.
Okay.
That is until July of 2021, when South Africa experienced civil unrest for a little over a week and protests and riots broke out in a couple of areas. The triggering event was the incarceration of President Zuma after he declined to testify in front of a commission looking into allegations of his corruption. Most agreed that the unrest wasn't in support of this guy, but fueled by job layoffs and economic inequality made worse by the pandemic policies. Lauren watched this happening and became very scared for the safety of her 3 girls, and so she kept them home. When she expressed her increased anxieties, Graham was angry with her because he found out she had stopped taking her antidepressants in March of 2021 without any consultation with her doctor about that. But by August, she was back on them. She had a foot surgery and continued to have intrusive thoughts, but talked to no one about them. She was afraid her mental health struggles and being honest about them would affect their plans to immigrate to New Zealand.
Yeah.
That same month, Graham's essential skills work visa was approved by the New Zealand Immigration Office. Graham and Lauren packed up the girls and their lives and made their way to New Zealand, where they spent 2 weeks in managed isolation as part of New Zealand's COVID policy. They arrived in Timaru on September 11th, 2021.
Okay.
Timaru is a port city on the eastern coast of the southern island of New Zealand with a population of roughly 30,000 people. Lauren did not like it.
Oh.
She had issues with the appearance of the people there and described the rental place they were staying at as small, disgusting, and creepy.
The appearance of the people there? Like what? Okay.
I don't
wonder it like
know.
It's like a working class town or something, or
maybe.
Okay. It's a bit judgy, Lauren.
Kind of judgy, kind of snobby, I think.
Yeah.
She also was afraid the girls would be cyberbullied when they got older and compared the treatment of the Maori people to apartheid in South Africa. She basically instantly regretted their big move to New Zealand. This
is the problem with severe mental health is people think that if they change their job, change their house, they try to quell their inside turmoil with outside things.
Yes.
And already
people in recovery do the same thing.
Yeah.
God, we have I can't remember what it's called. There's like a cheeky, pithy term for it that we use in recovery. Oh, we call it a geographical. Oh, you're going to pull a geographical.
Yeah.
It's your job or it's your partner or it's your house or it's the town you live in.
Right.
It's no, actually it's you.
It's internal. Yeah.
Yeah. Everywhere you go, you are.
You're taking your depression to New Zealand with you.
Yeah. Totally. So on the 16th of September, 5 days after their arrival, Carly and Maya went to their first day at preschool, which was Liane's second day at Timaru Christian School. Lauren picked up all the girls from school and Carla threw a tantrum in the car. Then Lauren and Graham took the family to a local botanical garden. On this outing, Lauren had a group of girls come up to her and warn her that there was a boy in the park taking pictures of her daughters.
Oh.
This confirmation for Lauren that New Zealand was not, this confirmed for Lauren that New Zealand was not a safe place for her family.
Okay.
Later that night, Graham went out with some coworkers while Lauren stayed home with the kids. Around 10 p.m. that night, police responded to a call placed for emergency services by Karen and Brad Cowper, who were neighbors of the Dickasons. When police arrived, they found an unimaginable scene.
Oh, no.
A distraught Graham with his new work colleague, Mark Svitnich, and Mark's wife, Kathy, who Graham had called after he had run to Karen and Brad's place in absolute distress. Mark had also called emergency services. All three of the Dickason girls were dead, and Lauren had killed them.
Oh, God.
On the 17th, I'm not sure if that was later that same night, so it was just after midnight, or if it was the next day proper, police interviewed Lauren, who readily admitted to killing all three of her children. She said that the incident at the gardens with that boy supposedly taking pictures of the girls and being convinced New Zealand wasn't safe for them made her have thoughts of brutally killing the children by sedating them and cutting their femoral arteries.
Oh, my God.
After Graham left to go out for the night, she saw a request from New Zealand Immigration for more medical information about Kayla's cleft palate and her own mental health, which added to her distress. And then she said that that night the children, quote, were being wild again, jumping on the couches, not listening to what I'm trying to tell them, and, quote, something just triggered me. She gathered all three girls in a bedroom, told them they were going to make necklaces with cable ties and tricked them into putting these cable ties around their necks.
Oh, God.
She told them, quote, "Mummy's very sick and is going to die. I can't leave you behind because I don't know who's going to look after you." She then asphyxiated the girls, Kayla first, then Leonie, then Maya. She told police that Kayla had been really horrible to her recently and that Leonie had fought back. She said, quote, "The oldest was very angry and she wants to know why I'm doing this to them because I'm the best mom and she loves me."
Oh my God.
But the children were still breathing after this, so she smothered them with a towel and their blankets. When she was done, Lauren attempted to take her own life with a knife and some pills, but failed.
Mm-hmm.
When Graham got home, he found his daughters dead in their beds, and when he confronted Lauren, she told him it was too late and then fell into a catatonic state.
God. Oh my God.
2 days after Lauren killed her children, she was in Timaru District Court, where it was determined she would be placed into inpatient psychiatric care. 5 forensic psychiatrists interviewed Lauren for a total of 53 hours combined. 2 of the psychiatrists concluded that Lauren killed her daughters out of anger and control, including not wanting another woman to raise them should she die and Graham remarried. The other 3 of them concluded that Lauren was extremely mentally unwell and could claim a defense of insanity or infanticide. So I had to go digging into this statement because what do they mean that she could claim infanticide?
Yeah, it is infanticide.
Like, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And what I found out is interesting because in many countries, including New Zealand, there is a law that allows for diminished capacity for mothers who kill their infants. In New Zealand, it's actually a child under 10 years old. Infanticide has a maximum prison sentence of 3 years.
Oh, shit. 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
As we've discussed recently, men are far more likely to kill their families than women, and that is true of only killing the children as well. The most extensive study into parents who murder their children conducted to date in Canada, they did find that female killers were more common among perpetrators under 18, while men dominated in older age groups. That's actually a breakdown. There's actually a breakdown of the difference between filicide, which is killing one's children, neonatocide, which is a newborn within 24 hours of birth, and infanticide, which is after 24 hours under 1 year old.
Okay.
One thing that comes up over and over again with mothers who kill their children is what is considered an altruistic motive. The mother believes that what they are doing is what is best for their children. In the case of Lauren, it could be argued that because she decided to end her own life, she felt she had to end the lives of her 3 children to spare them from her death and the larger world that would harm them without her there to care for them.
Mm-hmm.
The other primary motive is acute psychosis.
Right.
It would be almost 1.5 years before Lauren would go to trial for 3 murder charges.
Sorry, quick question. If you're thinking in that very illogical way, isn't that also, aren't those one and the same? Isn't that acute psychosis? If your reasoning is, I'm going to kill myself and I don't want to leave them behind.
Well, I think acute psychosis is there's no thought process at all.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's when you're like, the devil's coming for me or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Andrea Yates or...
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it would be almost 1.5 years before Lauren would go to trial for 3 murder charges. She had been remanded to Hill Morton Hospital during that time for a mental health assessment and treatment prior to trial, which the judge and the Crown prosecutor agreed to. Prior to this remand, her attorney had pled... He had entered Lauren's plea of not guilty on her behalf as she was too ill at the time to attend court herself. At her trial, which started July 17th, 2023 and lasted 4 weeks, the jury heard testimony from Graham, who did not travel to New Zealand for trial. He had returned to South Africa after the murder of his 3 girls, and he testified via video conference.
Oh, wow.
He spoke about Lauren telling him on at least 3 separate occasions that she had thoughts about killing the children.
Okay, Graham. Well, and he's a doctor. They're both doctors. Where was the intervention here?
Right.
What the fuck?
As far back as 2019, Lauren admitted to her psychiatrist at the time that she was having thoughts of killing her children.
Mm-hmm.
She said Carla was a difficult child who lashed out often, slapped, and bit her. Lauren told this psychiatrist that her children were, quote, never enough. She also experienced thoughts of harming her children that summer in 2021 during the unrest in South Africa just prior to their move to New Zealand, after she had stopped taking her medication for a while.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the times she confided those thoughts to Graham, and he angrily told her to get back on her medication.
That was his solution, get back on your meds. And why isn't this psychiatrist intervening in some way? Wow, there's a lot of failures happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She had a foot surgery after that and continued to have thoughts of killing her 3 daughters, but these thoughts she kept to herself, thinking that sharing these thoughts with anyone would hinder her ability to move to New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
The police digital forensic analysis testified that Lauren had made 8 deleted internet searches looking into overdosing children.
Hmm.
He also found several searches for fatal levels or doses of various drugs and substances. Multiple witnesses for Lauren's defense testified that Lauren was suffering from postpartum depression when she killed her children.
Yeah.
One of the defense's expert witnesses, a forensic and reproductive psychiatrist, was one of the witnesses who stated this. She also spent 4 days interviewing Lauren and claimed Lauren stated that she frequently had thoughts and images of killing her children and that the night of the murders, she was ill and going to die.
Mm-hmm.
She killed her daughters because she believed no one else was going to look after them after she was gone. This same expert testified that Lauren killed her children out of love and based on her inability to parent, that Lauren didn't want them to grow up and experience something bad happening to her or Graham, such as being hit by a car. Lauren thought her children would be better off in heaven because she was the, quote, worst wife and mother.
Oh.
Of course, the prosecution had its own psychiatric expert witnesses whose assessments were not in agreement with the defense. That Lauren killed her children out of anger rather than insanity or postpartum depression, that she was more concerned with ironing than the health of her children, and that she was someone who was accustomed to privilege in South Africa that found herself in a less privileged environment in Timaru.
Okay. More concerned with ironing? Like clothes?
Uh-huh.
Wait, where did they pull that right out of their biscuits? Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Okay. Weird. Okay.
A consultant psychiatrist at Hill Morton Hospital and the first psychiatrist to interview Lauren following her children's murders testified that Lauren, quote, had the capacity to engage meaningfully and discussed her previous experience with South African mental health specialists treating her for depression, anxiety, and feelings of being a bad parent.
Mm-hmm.
According to this psychiatrist, other contributing factors to Lauren's mental health issues included the financial impact of the COVID-19 lockdowns, the immigration and travel process, and the ongoing unrest and rising crime in South Africa. She also testified that Lauren had told her she killed her children and attempted suicide to, quote, end the suffering. She went on to say that Lauren was not experiencing psychosis during the killings because, quote, it would be exceptional for psychosis not to be detected if, in fact, it was present. She said Lauren was suffering from depression and grievances instead.
That's a lot of word salad. How is psychosis present? Isn't the fact that she killed them that is the presence of psychosis?
I mean, this is the weirdness of like debating this shit amongst a bunch of like professionals in a court setting. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What? Oh my God. Okay.
Ultimately, the Crown's argument, summed up in closing statements, was that Lauren was in remission from her postpartum depression. They shared text messages she had sent in the days and weeks leading up to the murders. Quote, for the first time in 9 years, I'm not using antidepressants. It was just a mindset shift. Quote, I have been off antidepressants for 3 months already after 10 years. And messages detailing that she was in a fitness program, which the Crown argued didn't sound like someone suffering from postpartum depression.
Okay.
Lauren said she killed Carla first on multiple occasions because she had been misbehaving, biting, and scratching Lauren. When asked whether she thinks the killings were a result of her postpartum depression, Lauren said no, and that the idea for killing her kids, quote, just popped up. Although the Crown said, quote, we knew the thoughts didn't just pop into her head.
No.
The closing statement from Lauren's defense mentioned Lauren's 16 rounds of IVF, that the family moved to New Zealand in order to provide a better life for the children, that the world was dangerous for her children, that Lauren had postpartum depression after the births of her twins, that her mental health made her very unwell, that Graham did not understand her illness, that she was, quote, reliable and consistent when talking to experts. They said that she was not asked by police why she killed her children, and that Lauren, quote, didn't tell anyone that she killed them out of anger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going with the defense on this one. Also, like, who goes through 16 rounds of IVF only to say, like, I'm angry and my children are fussy? Like,
so I'm going to murder them all.
Yes, this is not. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
Prior to sending the jury into deliberations, the judge told them that there were no disputes about Lauren killing her children, and that the question is whether it was murder, infanticide, or insanity due to the imbalance of her mind at the time.
Mm-hmm.
After a total of 15 hours of deliberations on the 16th of August, 2023, the jury found Lauren Dickason guilty on 3 counts of murder.
Really?
Lauren was taken out of the courtroom weeping to be remanded back to Hill Morton Hospital until sentencing, as she was under compulsory treatment that made prison inappropriate.
So she can't even go to prison because of her mental state, but she was found guilty of murder.
Yes.
Cool.
Following the verdict, Dickason's parents, Malcolm and Wendy Fox, issued a statement blaming postpartum depression for taking the lives of their grandchildren, Liane, Carla, and Maya. They also stated that there were no winners in this tragedy and urged greater awareness of the effects of postpartum depression.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren has a small group of supporters in a Facebook group called Support for Lauren Dickason that includes her father. They claim that her guilty verdict has caused women's voices to be silenced. They organized a petition urging the judge in Lauren's case to consider postpartum depression as a factor in sentencing, and for the legal profession to recognize postpartum depression as a public health crisis.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
One columnist for South African publication compared Lauren to Crime, Wine, and Chaos alum Andrea Yates,
Mm-hmm.
who was acquitted of murdering her 5 children by reason of insanity.
Yeah.
The author noted that both women suffered from mental illness and postpartum depression, had experienced previous miscarriages, had professionally accomplished husbands, and killed their children while their husbands were away from home.
And very similar mental health, like, trajectories.
Histories.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lauren was sentenced on June 26, 2024 to 18 years in prison as 3 concurrent determinate sentences of 18 years. She was not given a minimum term and would be kept in a mental health hospital until she was deemed mentally fit for prison. When the sentence was delivered, Lauren was silent and had no reaction. During the sentencing, victim impact statements from her family members, including Graham, were read. Lauren has been served with a deportation order that will take effect upon her release from prison.
Wow.
And that is Lauren Dickason.
So Graham didn't stay by her side then?
No.
He turned on her.
He did not stay by her side.
Wow. Wow. That's fucking awful.
Yeah.
Postpartum depression is no joke.
It's no joke. And like the fact that she had talked openly to her doctors and her husband about having thoughts about killing her children, and like no flags were on the play here.
No kidding. He's just like going out with coworkers. You're watching the kid. Like, she shouldn't even be watching the kids by herself if she has said that.
No.
What is he doing?
Like, just complete disregard for the seriousness of this situation.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's wild to me that New Zealand accounts for that in their law.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't. But the prosecution chose to just take her to court for murder.
Yeah. Wow. That's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm actually really surprised that Andrea Yates was acquitted.
You are?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's what state was she in?
I want to say
Do you remember?
Texas.
That's wild.
Maybe
to
not.
me.
Maybe Arkansas or something.
Yeah, it's wild to me. That's mighty open-minded of that jury.
Yeah. Also, because that was a long time ago, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot longer ago.
I wonder what kind of conviction she would have gotten had that been in South Africa or the US. I mean, I'm not familiar with New Zealand. It sounds like they have more, understanding laws than we do with that infanticide until 10 with only a 3-year.
The US has similar laws on the books.
I'm really shocked that they were so. Do you think it's because she wasn't a citizen?
She wasn't from around here? I don't know. Maybe.
Yikes.
Maybe if she had been in a community where she'd been a community member for a really long time and like a bunch of people knew her and loved her, like maybe the sentiment would have been different. I don't know.
Maybe. I hated that.
Sorry, sister.
Oh.
Don't worry. I'm going to move past this.
That's okay. I've got another story that I hate, and you're going to hate it too.
Great. Perfect. We're going to do a double Debbie Downer day.
Yep, triple Ds.
Okay.
Have you heard of a YouTuber named Onision?
No.
Oh, God. Well, I wish I hadn't. He's fucking dumb.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about him.
Okay.
Okay. So his real name is Gregory James Daniel. He was born November 11th, 1985 in Auburn, Washington.
Uh-huh.
He has stated that his mother raised him and his older sisters in a rural area, and that they were raised as Seventh-day Adventists.
Oh.
During his teenage years, he composed music and worked on web and graphic design. He briefly served in the Air Force in 2005 and received a general discharge under honorable conditions in 2008.
Okay.
He started making videos online before YouTube ever was a thing. He had a website called Mr. Odd where he shared his comedy sketches. Comedy. Yeah.
Air quotes. We're doing air quotes here. Okay.
He got on YouTube like right when it was first created in 2006 and went by the name Onision. I have no fucking idea what that means or where he came up with that.
Okay.
He didn't have much success in the first few years, but then he posted a video called Banana Song, and it went viral with 95 million views. Okay.
Is this like Bananas in Pajamas type song or?
It's so, oh my God. I don't even know how to describe this. It's definitely the kind of YouTuber that Jade would have been into at like 13. Definitely geared towards that group of girls, but it's just really bad, like a lot of just like screaming and like physical comedy that's dumb.
Okay.
All I'm saying is when I hear that Banana Song got 95 million views and you and I are over here like researching the fuck out of things, like what is this world?
And I think our most recent YouTube video that I uploaded this Sunday had like, the last I looked, it had 24 views.
Yeah. 24, 95 million. Okay. So anyway, It's really dumb, but this grew into millions of followers. And so he started to expand his content to other channels where he would do like vlogs and he would share about his life. He ultimately ended up with over 350 million views across YouTube. Like,
Jesus
this
Christ.
turned into his profession.
Okay.
But then he started to post some really problematic shit. He made a video mocking a woman with an eating disorder.
Oh, lovely. That's perfect. Love that.
This was a regular thing that he did. He would have his fans send in selfies and then he would make videos scoring the attractiveness of his underage fans.
Oh.
And these are like, anywhere from like 12 to 16-year-old girls who are just like probably initially really excited that this famous YouTuber is showing their picture on his channel and even like talking about them. And then he's like, yeah.
He's rating them 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there were some people who definitely like commented on how inappropriate these videos were, but he would just double down.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, his fans seemed to appreciate his candid honesty.
Is that what we're calling it?
That's what they called it. That's not what I'm calling it. I think it's fucking gross.
There's so many reasons why it's gross.
Mhm.
Like, there's so many reasons why it's gross.
Mhm.
Not least of all that, like, literally beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And like, there's always somebody for everyone. Like, there are people that like are people think are attractive, even if you don't think they are.
Oh, I know.
It has nothing to do.
This guy is gross.
It's so subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So anyway, people just some people thought he sucked. Others liked his candid honesty. That was until September of 2019, when a girl named Sarah came forward and accused him of having abused her for years.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. She said that she first started to watch his videos when she was just 12 years old. By 13, she was interacting with him and his wife at the time, whose name was Lainey at the time, but now they go by they, them, and goes by Kai. But at the time, she was a she, her, Lainey. Okay.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Amber, I'm so sorry. Can we?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry.
Bye, cutie. All by myself. Don't want to be all by myself anymore.
I'm so sorry, sister. I totally forgot there was something on the stove that I was going to turn off before we started. We're okay,
You
but like
almost became an episode.
I am an episode every week.
Podcaster burns her house down while podcasting. That's chaos. Fuck.
Should I go turn it back on?
No, yeah. It's good content. Go turn it back on. You'll be all right.
We need those views, you guys. So
Okay.
at the time she was Lainey.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Sarah said she was a nerd as a kid. She thought of herself as not attractive. And she believes that it was because she was vulnerable that Onision and Lainey like kind of smelled her out, right?
Oh, together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so
no.
It actually started as a friendship with Lainey, who at the time kind of had her own YouTube thing going and was sort of famous in her own right. So the two it starts by like comments on YouTube, and then pretty soon it's like message exchanges through Twitter, which then evolves into like an exchange of phone numbers, right?
Sure. And Lainey is this guy's wife or girlfriend?
Wife. But we'll get back to Lainey because
Okay.
So that evolves into Lainey sending explicit images to Sarah and Sarah sending them back to Lainey.
Of themselves?
Uh-huh. Yes.
And Sarah is 13.
Sarah's 13, Lainey's 19.
And how old is old boy here?
He's like 27 at this point. So that's the thing. Okay. So yeah. In one of these messages that Lainey sent to Sarah, she said, quote, "I'm grooming you nicely." Mm-hmm.
What?
So this went on for 3 years. And when Sarah turned 16, she asked her mom for a ticket to Washington as a birthday gift so she could go and visit her best friend Lainey and Onision.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. She never told her mom what was going on, just that her best friend Lainey lived in Washington and she had a husband named Greg. So in 2016, she travels to Gig Harbor, Washington to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She said when she got there, it was not awkward with Lainey at all. They were like besties. She said when she met Greg, he told her that her face looked like how cream soda feels going down your throat.
What?
I don't know. Uh-huh.
Also, of course, there was no awkwardness and they were like besties. She'd groomed her nicely for 3 years.
Yes, she had groomed her nicely. Yes.
Oh my God.
Sarah said it was really fun. And after just a few weeks after her first visit, Greg and Lainey asked Sarah to move in with them.
Move in with them? They asked a 16-year-old to move in with them.
Yes. And Sarah's mom agrees and signs over power of attorney to Lainey.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Sarah was having some problems at home. And so she was more than happy to move in with them, and her mom was more than happy to let her go. Uh-huh.
With people she didn't even know and never met.
Well, this was after her first visit. She visits, she comes.
No, yeah. But the mom didn't know them. The mom had never met them.
No. So at the time of her move-in, she's 16, Lainey's 22, and Greg is 31. Mm-hmm. Sarah says that she trusted Lainey 100%, but as soon as the power of attorney paperwork was signed, she noticed a dramatic shift in the relationship. And now Sarah is like appearing in their YouTube videos, and people start making comments on the YouTube channel about Sarah being on there. And the comments were like, someone needs to get this young girl out of this house. This guy's a fucking douchebag. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Onision, Greg, makes a video that he posts to put the rumors to rest. Basically, like, Lainey is her guardian and she's our friend and we love her and she's safe here and we're, there's nothing going on. Mm-hmm. In February of 2017, Greg sends Sarah home. He's like, never mind, get out of here, go home. And Sarah is like devastated.
How old is she now?
She's still 16.
Okay.
But 6 months later, Greg and Lainey ask her to come back. And they say, this time we aren't going to tell anyone that you're here. I think it's because it was like he was losing viewers.
Oh.
So like you move back home, you come back, and this time you're not going to appear on our channel.
Okay.
So Sarah returns. She said that she just wanted to be with Lainey. And if she had to put up with Greg, then so be it. So they keep her off camera, but inside the home, Greg's like jokes and sexual innuendos are getting like more and more and more inappropriate, right?
Mm-hmm.
By November of 2017, Sarah finally tells Greg that his comments that he claims are jokes are making her uncomfortable. And he tells her that he can't live in the same home with someone who is uncomfortable around me. And so he kicks her out again.
Okay. Sarah, run. Just go back to where you came from and move on with your life.
Yes. She didn't see them again for 8 months. She said that they treated her like a toy that they could like take out and play with when they wanted to and then bring her back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said she wanted to get to a point where she like didn't need them, but she said she was young and wasn't even trusting her own instincts because of all the gaslighting that they were doing.
Sure.
In July of 2018, she makes another trip to their home. She's 17 at the time. They told her to come back as close to her 18th birthday as she could.
Okay, that's fucking sus and weird. What? Suddenly we care about whether or not she's 18?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So she comes back again. This is her 5th visit. And a month into her visit, she turns 18. And it was during this time that they first told her that they were interested in a threesome with her. But Sarah was only interested in being with Lainey. But she had no choice but to be with Greg, too.
That's rape.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, this has been going on since she was 13.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coercion is rape.
Mm-hmm. This guy, I encourage you to look up some of his shit. It's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb.
It's still on the internet?
Oh, we'll get to that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
So then a friend of Sarah's puts a video out without Sarah's consent that basically calls Greg a pedophile. and also that Lainey was underage when he first got together with her. And now he's like using her to recruit other underage girls like Sarah, right? And there was several others. Like this documentary was Sarah focused, but there was other girls coming out of the woodworks of like the same thing happened to them.
Are these like prepubescent girls?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Lainey's now going by Kai. And Greg and Kai each make their own videos denying rumors that Greg's a pedophile. And they ask Sarah to make a video as well. He tells her that he needs a 30-second video saying that she wasn't groomed. And Sarah doesn't really want to do it. And also, she knows that they're lying and they did groom her. She said that she had to make the video or she would not be able to see Kai anymore, who's her best friend. And she's like kind of in love with her. And you can tell in this video that Sarah is being like that it's scripted. You can tell by watching it, right? Then they tell Sarah that if she wants to continue to stay with them, she needs to sign an NDA.
What? Who the fuck do they think they are? P fucking Diddy? Like, what are we doing?
These people are wild.
Just for the record, you guys, an NDA does not cover you for illegal activity.
Well, also, this was like they typed NDA into like the word template search. And that was basic, like, it was bullshit, right?
At most, NDAs are bullshit. For you know, but it. Okay.
Yeah. So it was at this time that Greg officially starts sleeping with her just solo, like without Kai, and Sarah says she did not consent to it. She said it happened one night when the three of them were laying in bed watching a movie, and Kai and Greg started having sex in front of her, and then Greg sort of pulled her down, and that was it.
And raped her. Okay.
Yeah. So during this visit, it's 2019. She's at their home. Kai goes out of town to visit family. So it's just her and Greg.
Great.
She says during this time, Greg would have sex with her every day and then go to work, come home, have sex with her again. And that was like the entirety of her life. He then sent her home again shortly before Kai returned back from her trip. And that was the last time she ever saw him. The relationship that Sarah had with these two famous YouTubers went on for 5 years. It was the entirety of her teenage years. God.
That's a lot of therapy.
And plus, like, I don't know what was going on at home, but like her mom was like, sure, here you go. Here's my kid. And like,
yeah.
Yeah. She felt like she was just disposed of, and she believes that Greg thought she had low enough self-esteem that she would just go home defeated, but that is not what happens. So she goes online and makes her own video and exploits him. In August...
You mean exposes him?
Yeah. Yeah. Why did I type that?
Is that I don't know. Probably the same reason why I typed 2045. Who knows?
We're both living in the future. So August of 2019, Greg goes online and responds to Sarah's accusations. He accuses her of blackmailing them and raping them.
Stop it.
Yes.
And people believe this?
No, people don't believe this. So the whole thing snowballs into like Chris Hansen knocking on his door.
Chris Hansen?
The To Catch a Predator guy from Dateline. Oh. And then he files like stalking charges against Chris Hansen. And then all of these viewers start bombarding YouTube to do something. And so he gets banned from his platform. He is removed from Patreon, YouTube, and Twitch following the abuse allegations, and he is demonetized in January of 2021. So he has no income anymore. The reason for the demonetization, this was cited as violation of community guidelines relating to off-platform behavior regarding child safety. In 2024, he tried to make a comeback on TikTok, but he's still doing the same like slapstick fucking, he's like 40 now and he's like in a banana suit. I'm not fucking kidding you. Some of the comments on TikTok are pretty great. One of the comments to his videos was like, aren't you like 45? And then another one says, just put my fries in the bag, bro. He has since gone back on YouTube with a new channel.
They let him back?
Yeah, because they just demonetized his existing channels, but he wasn't banned from the platform. Oh. I haven't looked into what his new channels are all about. Don't know if he's making money off of it. There have been no criminal charges filed against him or Kai/Laney. And he has been dubbed the world's most hated YouTuber, Onision.
That's saying something because there's a lot of shitty fucking YouTubers.
Yep. That's what I encourage you to look up this fucking banana bullshit. That's the thing that got him famous.
I can't.
You must. Because what are we doing?
Oh my God, sister, I hate it so much.
I hate it too.
I hope Sarah got all the therapy she needs and deserves, and she is surrounded by friends who love her and support her and take care of her and treat her like the human being that she is.
I do too. That story suggestion came from my daughter.
Oh, the weird YouTube ones always come from Jade.
TanaCon.
Yes.
Fucking TanaCon.
And she did, her story was like a YouTube one or a
the Mad Pooper.
Versus like Penis Guy or something.
Oh yeah, the graffiti guy. Yeah, that was a good one. Oh man. Yeah.
Oh my God. I hate it. I hate the online grifters and predators so much.
I do too.
They're everywhere.
I do too. Cousin Jeremy and I have talked about this a lot, where it's like, in some regards, it's great that there's avenues for people to whatever music, doing what you and I do. You don't have to have like an agent or a record deal or whatever, but at the same time, there's no barriers. There's no
guardrails. Yeah. There's no guardrails.
It's just like, come one, come all with whatever. And so it's like, oh, I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Question mark.
You're welcome.
I know about that now.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Oh, Chaos Kids. We love you.
Love you. We did
it. I love you, sister. We totally did it. Hey, if you're not in the club, go join the club. Patreon.com/yakety-yak. Crime, wine, and chaos. Okay.
5 doll hairs a month. Or you can just, you can join for free.
You can join for free. There is stuff posted over there that's not behind the paywall. But we do give Kids Club members a free, an extra bonus. We do a bonus episode every month. And you get new episodes every week a day early. So we'd love to have you over there. And I love you, sister. That was super chaotic.
Yeah, it was.
Goodbye.
Crime, Wine, and Chaos is produced by 8th Direction Records. Artwork by Joshua M. Davis. Music by Jeremy Williams. If you would like to support the show, you can visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/Crime, Wine, and Chaos. Cheers!